What's up, Hoopers? It's Coach Alex from THINCPRO Basketball, and in today's video, we are going to go over how to use the spin move. Let's get started.
Gon' play that, take you down, I'ma say that. Mine need me a couple dollars, telling you now this payback. So I take that, ask them now what's sage at. I've been going to the top and I got what they not, so I know that they hate that. But I'm on now, all these lanes gonna zone out, and all these lanes gonna tell you what I did, and they twist and they worse till I fall out.
All right, Hoopers, well, like I said, we're gonna go over how and why and what you do when you're using the spin move. We're gonna talk about it off of the dribble. We're gonna talk about it when you're attacking the basket and using it as a move to finish around the basket. All right, so let's first talk about the things you want to think about when handling the basketball and using a spin move. All right, so out here, this could be one that you use as an escape dribble, meaning you're trying to get away from your defender, you're trying to get by him, okay? So if I've got Buddy in front of me and I want to use a spin move off the dribble, right, I want to get him to lean one way. So if I'm attacking towards the left, right, I want to get him to shift this way, so then when I spin, I can plant that foot that's closest to the defender, that inside foot, so when I spin off, I can continue my forward progress. All right, so again, I'm going to my left, I plant that inside foot to then spin away from the defender. Again, I said it's a escape dribble, so we're getting away from that defender. So that's important that when we plant here, and now with the dribble, we're keeping our dribble alive. And that's the biggest difference with, you know, using this as a finishing move towards the rim, because if you're attacking the basket, normally you're gonna spin and pick it up and score, right? But off of the dribble, we're gonna go off of the spin and try to keep our dribble alive so we can continue downhill to make a play to get to a jump shot. All right, so that's the first thing you gotta think about is your positioning on when you're gonna use the spin move. All right, it can be anywhere on the floor, really. Whenever you want to use a spin, it could be in transition, it could be breaking a press, it could be in the half court setting as if we're in right now. So again, I want to attack Buddy, right? And I want to plant that inside foot, so when I get him to lean with me here, I now can use my spin to get away, to keep my dribble, to get to my jumper, to make a play, or to even get all the way to the basket. All right, so that's the first step in how to use the spin off of the dribble.
But I know that, so I keep what I'm doing because I own that.
All right, now the next step, now that we know like why we're using this move to get away from the defender off of the dribble, we have to know how to spin. So when I use this and I spin, right, especially when I'm trying to get by the defender, I don't want to spin and come all the way back out here, because if I do, it makes this job easier for the defender to take one or two steps to get back into the play. So when I use a spin move on anything, I gotta spin and I gotta keep it tight. So when I spin here, I wanna spin and look to where this foot's going. Rather than this foot swinging out this way, this foot is swinging towards the basket. So when I'm here and I spin, boom, I'm going this way rather than that way, all right? And when we spin, we wanna stay tight. We wanna keep that ball on the spin. We wanna put that ball out in front to our other hand, right? Because if I keep it here, close enough to the defender, they can just poke it free and it helps them get back into the play. But if I'm here and I spin off of them, I want to put it out to that other hand, so now it's far enough away where the ball's protected and I can go and score, okay? So we got to think about, number one, where we're spinning to, keeping our body tight, going towards the basket rather than away, and number two, putting that ball out in front so when we spin, it can go to our other hand. So it's in my left hand, I spin, it's going to my right hand, all right? Because that's important, especially using the spin off of the dribble, right? Because if I'm out here, boom, it helps me continue forward rather than putting me in a position where I'm out here, away from the basket, all right? So we've got to make sure we know when and how to use it, using that spin and being tight, and switching hands on that dribble. So we're here, boom, and we're going. That's the spin move off the dribble. I'm gonna show you it in full speed right now from a couple of different angles. Then we'll talk about the spin move when you use it as a finishing move towards the rim.
And I stay in the lab and I kill everything, but I don't ever move. I'm a Kodak, so I'm gone. Finally back in my home. I'm working like so much, they swear I had me a clone. Can't answer my phone now, just leave it there, that tone. Ballin' can't beat me up, cause I'm back in my zone now. Cause I'm back in my zone now.
All right, so now we just talked about, using your spin move off the dribble. Let's talk about using the spin when you're driving towards the basket, all right? So we got Buddy here. Now with the spin move here, again, now that you're attacking, you have the option to go whichever direction you want, right? So if I've got the ball in my left hand, it's gonna be hard for me to spin towards my left. If the ball's in my left hand, most likely I'm gonna spin to the right. If the ball's in my right, most likely I'm gonna spin to the left. All right, so now with the spin move, this is more to, let's talk about the positioning on when you want to use the spin by the basket. I don't, number one, want to get too close to the defender when I get here and I spin, because by that time I'm gonna run them over, I'm gonna get an offensive foul. I don't want to start my spin too far, right? Where when I get to my full spin, they're right there in front of me. I want to use the spin when I get about right here. So when they maybe try to go for a steal, or I'm close enough or I'm far enough away, I got a good distance where I can spin right off of them. So when I do spin and that foot goes around, it's by them rather than if I spin, it's in front or even. So you want to make sure that when you spin by a defender, that foot that leads that spin move is past the defender, because that's created your advantage. So now when I complete my spin, the defender's on my back rather than in front. Okay, so the main thing you gotta think about is when you're going to use the spin, the positioning in which you're gonna use it, how close are you to the defender, making sure you're able to spin right off of them and create that advantage right after you use the spin. That's important when you're scoring, especially around the basket.
Back in my zone now.
Okay, and just like we talked about out on the perimeter, it's important that with your spin, you're spinning tight, right? I don't wanna get here unless if you're using a jump shot. Now this could be the only really exception to using the spin and this spin wide is to use it as a jump shot and a technique to use to get away from the defender to create space, almost like a step back, but using the spin. But if we're trying to get to the basket, we gotta make sure that our spin move is tight. So when I get here, I spin and it's right here, putting me right next to the basket. All right, I don't wanna spin and end up all the way out here, where if I do spin, it does give the defender a little bit of a chance to get back into the play to contest, rather than getting here, spinning right off of the defender and putting myself in the position to score close to the basket rather than fading away from the hoop. So when you spin, and how to spin tight is when I do spin here and I'm going to my left. So when I'm spinning and I'm spinning to my right, that left foot is going to be my lead foot. So I'm here, I'm spinning to the right side, that left leg is gonna be the lead foot. I've gotta make sure that when I spin, this foot is advancing past the defender. So when I bring this right foot around, it's right here by the basket. Same as if I was spinning to the left, I'm here, now my right foot's my lead foot. I'm spinning tight enough where it's past the defender to help me create the advantage I'm looking for to get here, here, and to score with my left hand, okay? So you gotta make sure you're spinning tight. And again, the last thing, protect the basketball. So when I'm spinning, I don't wanna leave it out here, right, where the defender can get their hand on it. I wanna put it in. For me, I like to cradle it. So when I'm here, I can spin and there's no way the defender can get there. Or you can just tuck it, right? You can hold it here. Rather than out, you put it into your chin or your chest and you can spin off and score. But you want to make sure you're spinning tight, giving yourself enough distance from the defender, creating that advantage with your lead foot, and then protecting the basketball. That's all going to lead to a successful spin move, especially around the basket. So right now I want to show you again in full speed, a couple different angles to spin move close to the basket and finishing at the rim after you've created the advantage past your defender using the spin move.
Let me into my zone. Please don't let me into my zone. 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 Please don't let me in. Please don't let me.
All right, Hoopers, well, that's it for today's video on how to use a spin move. We talked about it off the dribble and attacking the basket as a finishing move. Okay, so make sure you remember all the key points that we talked about in order to give you the best successful spin move. All right, if you liked today's video, give it a thumbs up, leave a comment. We appreciate all those comments that you guys have been leaving. Most importantly, join THINCPRO Basketball. We're providing you professional level training that's easy to follow and that's guaranteed to deliver in-game results. If you want those in-game results, make sure you follow along with THINCPRO Basketball. Head over to the channel, check out all the great content designed to help you improve your game. All right, so until I see you again next time, hit the gym, hit the court, put that work in, work on your spin move and become a deadly scorer. And remember to always keep hooping. I'll see you in the next video.